Hello everyone and welcome back to another video. In today's video, we are going to be going over one tip for every single character in Rivals of Aether 2. And should be noted that I don't main every single character in this game, so not all of these tips are going to be made equal, but I will do my best so you at least learn one thing from this video. Put code ProofBlock in the shop and let's get into it. The first character we're going to talk about is Forseburn, and my tip for Forseburn is using his side B, or rather, his side B as an edge guarding tool. So if you don't know how side B works, the clone always pops out behind Forseburn, and if you do that on the ledge, the clone pops out behind Forseburn off stage. Now, normally he jumps on stage because he loves being around that opponent, but if the opponent is already off stage, specifically below you, that clone is just going to fall like a rock, and you're going to be able to use it as an edge guarding tool. It's also not riskless completely to go for, because like in this case scenario, yeah, the Ranno could like up B me here aggressively and I could get hit, but it's very, very low risk and extremely high reward if the clone does manage to hit someone off stage. That initial blip of them spiking might just kill them, but if not, at the very least, it's setting up Forseburn into a position where he is at least going to be able to try and secure that stock. So if you're struggling with edge guarding at all with Forseburn, just drop your little buddy and let him do the job for you. Next up is going to be Ranno, and I've got two tips that I'm going to give you really quick with Ranno. The first one is if you hold down when you jump, that's how you get the Ranno super jump. I didn't know how, so for anyone that didn't know how, that's how you do it. And the second one, and this one's actually going to be a little bit more technical, I don't even know if I can pull it off without talking, it's going to be doing a running up tilt and keeping that momentum with a reversal up tilt. So the way that it works is you're running, you turn around, and you up tilt, and that allows you to slide with the up tilt like so. That is a very strong movement tool for Ranno. Not even a movement tool, it's just an aggressive tool for Ranno. He is able to then close this gap with a massive anti-air where previously he wouldn't be able to control that space. Now again, it's a really hard input. If you want to make it a little bit easier, you could wave dash in the same direction and up tilt, and you're going to get not the same effect, but it's going to be basically a pseudo. But this is something that is very, very difficult to do consistently. But if you can make this into your game plan, I'm not even kidding you, all you will need to do with Ranno is just do those up tilts and forward air, and you will be better than 99% of people who play this game. Not even Ranno players, just people who play this game. So yeah, it's a really hard tech, but it's one that if you invest your time into learning, you're going to absolutely get value. Next up is going to be Clairen, and my tip for Clairen is just using side B against the wall. It's not the greatest one, I know, but this is something that I think is pretty strong for Clairen players, and they really never elect to do it. And I think that's just because most of the time they're just going out there with a down or going out there with a back air, whatever. But if you just wait for someone to actually go for the wall or go for the ledge, you're able to get a pretty solid punish, especially if you do it like down here. You're able to hit them wave land on stage, go for a forward strong, or wave land on stage, go for like a down strong, something along those lines. I really believe that if you want to make some good pressure with Clairen off stage, you should be getting value out of side B on the wall. You can also just use it as like not a positioning tool, but giving yourself another chance of a double jump. Let's say you miss like this, I don't know, you miss with an initial forward air, then you can wall jump and do that. So I do think that using side B against the wall for Clairen is something that is going to be really important for her edge guarding. But also you could just like spam it against the ledge and make it really annoying for people to grab it because you just got this massive active hitbox there. Next up is going to be Maple, and my tip with Maple, it's a little bit basic, I'm sorry, but Maple players, I don't see anyone doing reverse side B. You need to start doing reverse side B. This is why your character is the best character in the game. It's specifically because she is able to do this. And I'm not even talking in the context of like just using it as a combo tool as well, allowing you to do better wrap combos, which is like, obviously it's really good for doing that as well, but that's not what's important right now. I'm just saying using it as like a movement tool, because Maple is a character. She's got a lot of burst rate. She's weaving in and out. She's very fast. It's really hard to put your hands on her. I can guarantee you that if you start doing this halfway through the game, it is going to absolutely mix people up. So start using this in your neutral and also absolutely in your combo game. Like whenever you get a wrap combo, unless you don't, you could go for down B as well. That's definitely not a bad choice, but you should be electing to go for either down B or reverse side B. The normal side B if you're after a wrap combo. It's like, that's so 2024. Like you got to get over that stuff now and move on. And my second tip for Maple would be, in general, put the plant on the platform, because you're just at mid and higher percents. Your throws are going to link into it way back. Specifically back there, like almost always will link into any platform, like mid-level platform throws. So put your plant on the back or the platform and use this part of side B. If you already did, I mean, you're probably really good at Maple. So do you even need tips? Next up is Orcane. I've got two things I want to mention for Orcane, because I'm pretty sure most people know this first one, but in case you didn't, you have a super jump when there's no puddle down as Orcane, and you just need to press B the exact same time that you press jump. Now, it should be noted, this put you into special falls, but there's not a ton of offensive capabilities behind it, aside from, like, ledge canceling it. You're not really going to be able to do anything, but it's just, like, really nice that Orcane is able to decently edgeguard, or not decently edgeguard, but recover without having the puddle on the ground. You're able to actually get yourself back to this stage. So if you're struggling to recover as Orcane, there's a way that you're absolutely going to be able to do a little bit better. And the second tip for Orcane is just going to be that neutral air is, like, so unbelievably important for this character. And again, you probably already knew that as the Orcane player, but I am hammering this point home for you. You should be hit falling every single neutral air that you do, and if you do that, you're going to be able to get some insane combo routes with this character, just in combination with his tilts, with neutral air itself just chaining into itself. Neutral air is really, really strong, but just make sure you're hit falling it, and you're going to be able to get way more value than you were seeing previously with this move. Next up is going to be Fleet, and my big tip for Fleet is going to be use reverse back air as an edge guarding tool. If you were ever struggling to kill people off stage, you will no longer struggle to kill people off stage, because this move hits obscenely hard, and it's also a very generous hitbox in front of Fleet where the reverse is. Like, you do not even need to be remotely close to that character for that thing to still clip you. And one of the best parts about it is that if you sour spot it, it turns Fleet around, so, you know, she is going to be able to follow it up with a second back air. This is a potent edgeguarding tool for Fleet. If you're consistently not able to edgeguard people, they're just always making it back to like 140%. You just have to wait to kill them with, like, I don't know, a neutral air. Well, those days are long gone, my friend. Reverse back air is going to absolutely help you out. It gives Fleet all that kill power that she's lacking, and yeah, it requires a little bit more precision in there, but it also kills like 30% earlier. Next up is going to be Kragg, and my advice for Kragg is just use neutral special whenever you can. This is such an important tool for this character, and he's got a lot of different ways to confirm into it. He confirms into it off of a falling up air. He can also probably confirm into it off of a rising up air if you're able to get it on the platform. He can definitely confirm off it of a rising up air if you land on the platform with it. He confirms off of a neutral air. It confirms off of a down air. It confirms off of up tilt as well. There's a lot of different ways that you're able to convert into this move as Kragg's side B as well. I didn't even mention that. This is something that's really strong tools. If the opponent is just stuck in shield, you can actually just hit them with that side B and then go for a B reverse neutral special. So neutral special, it is Kragg's most important tool in my opinion, because you're able to throw the opponent up to go for a juggle, or you can throw them down to go for a tech chase, or you can throw them off stage just straight up, or you can do the neutral throw and then go for a follow-up with a down air with a down B. So that's my advice is Kragg. If you can get a neutral special, get the neutral special. It is the best combo extender that this character has, and he's got a ton of different ways to set up in. I'll give you this next tip for free just because I like Kragg. If you neutral throw the rock off stage and then use the pillar to break it, if the pillar hits the opponent and drags them up, the rock fragments will hit them and they'll allow you to get a really big follow-up, like preferably a down strong, maybe even potentially a forward strong. You just instantly do it at the right percent. So if you want to edgeguard people in a little bit of a fancy style, this is like quite possibly the fanciest way to do it. Next up is going to be Loxodont, and my tip for this character is going to be using down B as an edge guarding tool, because it is a very potent edge guarding tool. You are immediately able to do down B off the ledge, no other inputs required. So you're just able to have this active hitbox near the ledge and immediately convert off of it with a back air, or immediately convert off of it with a forward air. And if you do the second or the third charge as well, you're able to just cover multiple aspects from the opponent. Like, let's say Zetterburn goes high here. I messed up the timing, but I would be able to cover that by doing a down B into an up air, or a down B into a back air, just with better timing in that exact example. So this is something that I think is amazing for Loxodont. Just having this burst option on the ledge is pretty much, and no, it's not pretty much riskless. It's riskless for him to go for, unless you're just getting like reversaled off stage. It is such a strong tool for him to get some really early edge guards, and it's definitely something that I think you should be looking into as a Loxodont player. Next up is going to be Zetterburn, and in the last tips and trick video I made, I would say that Zetterburn probably had the worst tip, and he definitely has the worst tip in this video. I would like to make a personal apology to the Zetterburn players. I don't know, I just can't think of anything, like any advice to give to this character, because everything seems so obvious with him. Like, it's just Fox. I guess the biggest piece of advice I can give with Zetterburn is if you don't know how to wave shine, you should learn how to wave shine. That's something that is very important for this character. I also think Shine is a little bit underrated as a tool. Like, specifically the charged up version of Shine, I think is a really strong edge guarding tool. Like, obviously it's against Wrastor, so it's not going to look as strong, but it hits people pretty decently far away. The spike on it is definitely strong. I think you never see players go for it just because you can go for something like a back air into down air, which is just like way better. But you can also just stand on the ledge as Zetterburn and pop the Shine. So, Zetter players, I'm sorry. I'm sorry that I don't have a better tip for you. Please, please, please leave tips for me or things that you think other Zetter players don't know so I can spew them in future videos, because I want to help. It's not that I don't like you guys. I just... Next up is going to be Wrastor, and my big tip with Wrastor is if you can hit an up B, absolutely you should be trying to go for that up B. I think the risk reward is just heavily skewed in Wrastor's favor there, because this move just hits you so incredibly hard, and you're also able to be reversed as Wrastor. So even if you only sour spot it, at least the opponent is going to be sent in the right direction, where you're not really going to be taking that big of a punish, or you shouldn't be taking that big of a punish. And this is just really important. If you want to take your Wrastor to the next level of play, this is a really nice way to get early kills extremely consistently. Learn the percentages where moves like down air start confirming into up B, moves like back air start setting up into that window, and it's going to be a lot easier for you to secure the stock. You're not going to have to rely on sending people off stage and going for those flow charts. You're just going to be able to kill them like a normal character. It's going to be fun. And our final character is the newest one in the game. Of course, it is going to be Etalus. And if you watched my Etalus 101 video, you kind of already know this tip, but they did change it, how this move works in the most recent patch, and that is going to be up B. So once the opponent gets around 60%, Etalus will start popping them up in the air with his up B. And it should be noted that the hitbox on this move is very small. It is literally just Etalus himself, but if you manage to hit it, you can now immediately wave cancel or wave land, whatever you want to call it, out of this move into a down strong or into an up strong. And this is only for the grounded version of the move. You can't really do that for the aerial version, but like still, that is such an insane tool to have for Etalus. And even if it's not hitting the opponent, it's also just a good disengage tool. You can choose not to disengage as well if you want. It puts ice on the ground. It's just a win-win to use this in neutral for Etalus, and if you manage to hit it, then you are going to be able to steal stocks insanely early. So this is something that you should be doing with Etalus all the time in neutral. Even if the opponent isn't close to you, you should just be throwing out those upbeats so that they're used to it. But if you can hit someone with it, make sure that you wave cancel it and confirm that thing into a strong attack. And with that, I thank you all for watching. The support has been absolutely unreal as of late. If you guys have any legitimate tips that I didn't mention in this video, you should leave them in the comments below, because not only are they going to help out future people, but they also might make it into one of my next videos, especially if the tip is about Zetterburn. Almost assuredly that tip will make it into the next video. So thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed this one. Use code ProofBlock, and I will see you all in the next one. Bye-bye.